In the news this evening, the State House of Assembly passes a Akwa Ibom State Independent Electoral Commission Bill into law. Embracing creativity in focus as global community marks Intellectual Property Day. Plus, spiritual fathers of faith brainstorm on the future of the church. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the news at 7. My name is Dianime Uko. This broadcast is reaching you live on StarTimes channel 103 and on our social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube. We bring you the news in detail. Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has passed an amended version of the Independent Electoral Commission Law. Nsikak Okon reports.
Before the passage of the bill, Chairman House Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mfon Idung, informed the House that the public hearing, which had stakeholders across the state and various ministries, agencies, civil society organizations, made meaningful inputs that assisted the committee to arrive at the recommendations. He expressed hope that the amendments of the Independent Electoral Commission Law will update the electoral laws in the state in line with the modern and acceptable electoral reforms and guidelines.
Promote transparency, accountability, the electoral process, thereby guaranteeing the independence of the electoral umpire, the Commission, and instill confidence in the electoral process in the state. The committee finally recommends that the proposed amendment to the law be accepted and that the bill be passed into law by this honorable Right Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues, I so submit this bill.
The House later considered the amended clauses 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 at the Committee of the Whole, where the amendments were adopted. The Speaker, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Udemotong, directed the Clerk of the House to forward the bill to State Governor.
To amend the Independent Electoral Commission Law Act 69, Law of Akwa Ibom State 2024, and for other matters that will be read at that time. Those in favor say aye. Those against the name. The ayes have it. Accordingly, the bill is hereby read at that time and passed into law. This is the law of the land.
Meanwhile, a bill for a law to establish a Akwa Ibom State Employment Trust Fund and other matters connected thereto has scaled through first reading and is sponsored by member representing Etmepo State Constituency, Mfon Idung. Nsikak Okon, NTA News.
Still from the state legislature, the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has considered a bill to establish the state's Electricity Regulatory Board to regulate electricity infrastructure within the state. The bill, which is sponsored by the member representing Esreket, Ibono State Constituency, Friday Udobia, has passed through second reading. Nsikak Okon again reports.
A bill for a law to make provision for electricity generation, transmission and distribution within and for residents of Akwa Ibom State is to establish Akwa Ibom Electricity Regulatory Board and for other matters connected therewith. According to the lead sponsor of the bill, Friday Udobia, while speaking on the general principle of the bill, say it will promote policy and regulatory measures to ensure the expansion of efficient power generation, transmission and distribution capabilities in the state, as well as promote the development of a competitive electricity market.
As a new regime of state electricity market will give the state a unique opportunity and flexibility to address the perennial challenges affecting optimal electricity supply within the state without waiting for the federal government's leading. When this bill is passed into law, the state can explore innovative mechanisms to attract investment for large-scale projects, such as concessionary-based project arrangement or private-public partnership for projects in the state and other viable financing options.
Some lawmakers who spoke extensively say the bill will address technology limitation and outdated infrastructure that are responsible for value chain losses in the electricity supply. The lawmakers also note that the bill, when passed into law, will attract sustainable investments in new and efficient power generation.
The distribution company will pay the price that Akwa Ibom people will pay because we are the one generating this electricity. In fact, the government can, if the governor, given the kind of governor we have, you know how magnanimous he is. In fact, you nickname him SAN, Senior Advocate of the Needy. Being that Akwa Ibom State people are in need of power, he might even say that he might even give 1 month's electricity bill holiday.
This is about time. Igbo power expands from generation to distribution and even transmission. Because that is the only way we can have close to 24-hour power supply, even 24-hour supply.
The Speaker of Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Udelmo Otong, speaks.
The law to make provision for electricity generation, transmission, distribution within and for the residents of Akwa Ibom State to establish Akwa Ibom Electricity Regulatory Board, and for other matters related to be read the second time. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The bill is accordingly read the second time and committed to the House Committee on Special Projects Monitoring and Implementation to report back to the House in 2 weeks.
Nsika Okon, NTA News.
Away from the State House of Assembly, April 26 every year is set aside to raise awareness about the role of intellectual property in order to encourage innovation and creativity for a better future. Abasianyanga Ekpenyong in this report x-rays the significance of this year's observance. The report.
The first World Intellectual Property Day was observed on April 26, 2000, and since then, the global community has been seeking to empower individuals and communities to unleash their creative potential and promote innovation. This day is to spread awareness globally regarding intellectual property rights and their role in human progress. This includes copyrights, books, music, art, designs, inventions, among others. Dr. Kaninyene, Department of Fine Arts, Faculty of Arts, University of Uyo, opines that inventors should be given the platform to compete with their contemporary.
We creative people, we have the right to own our creativity. We have the right to benefit from our creativity. Institutions, whether academic, traditional, or family, should encourage students or children or people who have these creative potentials.
The scholar further seeks intervention from government to help innovators reap benefits of their creativities.
I want to believe that the government of this country, the government of this state, and governments worldwide will do a lot to ensure that the intellectual property law is enforced and maintained.
With building our common future with innovation and creativity as 2024 theme, parents and young people are motivated to embrace creativity and explore careers related to intellectual property. In Uyo, Abasianyanga Ekpenyong, NTA News.
Sex difference is a biological phenomenon that sustains human existence and enhances development, especially if the female and male shift from positions of powerlessness and power which the society accords them. This is the summation of a centenary inaugural lecture of the University of Uyo as delivered by Professor Imo Abang Emenyi, titled Subjecting the Subject to a Dialogue of Voices. Wisdom Jacob takes it from here.
Seated here are a cross-section of the academia, students, members of the university community, and the public as a professor of African American literature and gender studies x-rayed on how male-female dichotomy can be broken. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Nyaudon Dayo, while thanking God, commended the gathering for always endeavoring to be part of the inaugural lectures.
You and I should come together to pull down the dichotomies, take away the barricades, the impediments, so that the girl child and the boy child can function together.
A citation of the centenary lecturer shows how her passion for education led her to the enrollment into Primary 1 as underage pupil and has risen to a seasoned scholar of international repute. In her presentation on the topic, subjecting the subject to a dialogue of voices, Professor Imo Abang Emeyi noted that no sex is more important than the other because the human essence in the female and the male is not only equal but genderless.
In spite of all the atrocities committed in the name of sex, I have not in the process of research seen anything to replace responsible human relations that account for me, that you see. Responsible, dignified human relations, that is, which is heterosexual. There's no replacement, so I can't advocate lesbian feminism. I cannot advocate abstinence that way. Even when we try to abstain, I think people don't really abstain. So the sexes should work together to complement each other.
The lecturer has done justice to what we are seeing in our society, where the female gender is seen as inhuman, is seen as a non-human, and she tried in the lecture to bring a balance through a dialogue between the male gender and the female gender, so they could come to a center point where both parties can coexist without one being a nobody and the other one a somebody.
You know, there is this disparity between male and then the female children. But this lecture has been able to demystify and then clear that doubt that whether a male child or a female child, normal, proper parental care should be given to them irrespective of the sex.
The males and females are entitled to equal opportunity in the society.
The event climaxed with the presentation of inaugural lecture to the Vice-Chancellor and plaque to the inaugural lecturer as a memorial. Wisdom Jacob, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA Channel 12. We will take a quick break. More stories will come afterwards. Please stay with us.
Asleep in Jesus, blessed sleep, from which none ever wake to be, a calm and undistant repose.
The great Abraham's family of Ikot Akwa Ibom, Ukanafon local government area of Akwa Ibom State cordially invites you
to the funeral ceremonies of their beloved wife, mother, grandmother and great-grandmother, late Deaconess Abigail S. Abraham, Ma Nte Ma.
1942 to 2024. Funeral arrangement, Monday 22nd April 2024. Opening of Morning House, Tuesday 23rd to Thursday 25th April 2024. Condolence visit, time 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Friday 26th April 2024, Friends Night at the family compound, Ikot Akwa Ibom, Ukanafon local government area. Saturday 27th April 2024, funeral service to be conducted by the Apostolic Church Nigeria, Ikot Akwa Ibom area, Ikot Ekpene Field, at QIC Group Schools, Ikot Akwa Ibom, Ukanafon local government area. Time 10 a.m. prompt.
Pastor Anefiok Abraham for the family.
Oga Paul, na another cough medicine you wan buy, so why you no go do the test wey I say make you go do?
Oga, make you go check this your cough. The last time I get this kind yeye cough wey no gree go, na madam here tell me say make I go do test. Where all the cough syrup wey I dey drink no gree work, dem come do me free test and e come show say I get tuberculosis. The medicine wey dem give me all na free. Now see am, I don well kampe.
Na true Callisto stop, go check am o, make you dey sure because who no go no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check am o, make you dey sure.
If cough don't worry you past 2 weeks, if it be tuberculosis, TB test and treatment, na free. Just call the National TB Hotline for 3340 or dial *3340# to get better informate. This message now from the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people them.
Oh, victory in Jesus, my Savior forever.
With a heavy heart, but with gratitude to God Almighty, the family at Toguforo Bokpan of Ukbomete in Ikarabasi local government area regret to announce the demise of their beloved mother, wife, daughter, and grandmother, led Deaconess Alice Etoguforo Bokpan, aged 61. Obsequies: Monday 29th April 2024, Night of Songs at her residence, plot 31, line F, Ewed Housing Estate, opposite Davok Suites. Time 4:30 p.m. Wednesday, May 1, 2024, lying in state at her residence and hometown by 6:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. respectively. Funeral service will be conducted immediately after by Sabbath Day Church of God at Methodist Central School, Ete, Ikorabasi, Akwa Ibom State. Time 10 a.m. She is survived by an aged mother, 6 children, sons-in-law, a daughter-in-law, 5 grandchildren, and a host of other relatives to mourn her demise. Friends and well-wishers are invited. Uyota Etoguforo Panen, announcer for the family.
Oh God, Greg, you want to buy cough medicine again? Why haven't you gone for a test like I advised?
This your cough. You need to check Amo. When I had a bad cough, Madam told me to go for tuberculosis test. After the cough syrup didn't work, they discovered I had tuberculosis. After the free test, I was even treated for free. Now I'm fine.
Solomon is right. Oh God, Greg, check Amo. Make you dey sure, because who no go,
no go, no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check Amo, make you dey sure.
If your cough is more than 2 weeks, it could be tuberculosis. TB test and TB treatment are free. Just call the National TB Hotline on 3340 or dial *3340# for more information. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American.
You're welcome back from that break. And on to the rest of the news. The Church and Society by the year 2030 and beyond is at the heart of discussion as the Spiritual Fathers of Faith Forum, Akwa Ibom State, strategizes with church leaders. Etienne Ibanga reports.
People.
This is the convergence of Akwa Ibom State Spiritual Fathers of Faith Forum, an umbrella body of the church heads and senior pastors. They are brainstorming strategic approaches to actualizing its goals and objectives in Akwa Ibom State and Nigeria by the year 2030 and beyond. Co-chairman 1 of Spiritual Fathers of Faith Forum, Akwa Ibom State, Professor Hahazaya Umana says the seminar explores ways of carrying out the Great Commission of Jesus Christ and the aspiration of the first chairman of the forum, late Prelate Emeritus Sam Dembang, which focuses on what he terms re-Christianizing Christians, first in Akwa Ibom State, in Nigeria and the world.
We are most conscious of the fact that Christianity would not have survived until today without active discipleship. Secondly, dreams and prophecies of the church must be actuated into functional and catalytic manifest existence through pragmatic and practical expressions and implementations.
Papers drew attention to the church and women ministry by 2030 and beyond, the church and youth ministry, as well as the church and interdenominational ministry.
Every man is influenced by a woman, and so the woman must be upright enough to be able to give good advice.
I strongly urge our church leaders and fathers to set aside denominational barriers and come together without further delay to map out strategies in transforming our state and our nation.
Love for one another should have no boundaries, and together we can impact our society as disciplined and virtuous disciples of Jesus.
The seminar featured interactive sessions and reactions to topics highlighted.
What we need is a personal relationship with God. All of us here as leaders.
Because I feel that the church should be a voice to the government, not government to be the voice to the church.
Many people are of the opinion that women are not qualified to be ordained as pastors. And my question is, why does God speak through them?
We need to rethink our ministries. I don't use my dressing to judge people. It is the standard in Bible.
The organizers expect that encouraging churches to be ethically and spiritually strong while upholding core values of Christianity and enforcing biblical standards are fundamental to preserving the sanctity of the church and the stability of society. Etienne Webanga, NTN News.
And that's a wrap on the news in English this evening. Thank you for watching. Up next is the news in Ibibio. Good evening.
Utom ubambet kesetem enamu fambet adiwam ufa utom megawu arina mutom mom fon esi usen fon kefro na rundi dara mbono wo enigen totungi fiok una mutom meikpo adai wur urpendaga mbotidem etanga nkaisu fogobasi akwai bombi komo aminsi kamine yem kibibio nkire abasi ayaga ekpeyon ya ikombongen fon ufong wenta ifiok uyo ema etumu kpemkpo akang ikie enombono wo ya ikombogombi ito okombongen wisdom yekop oyogo
bono wosi bono mi adom nta ifiok kemen sensi ikpo kpemwet ni to fongwet yemme na mutem ko fongwet nta ifiok yu okorom bono wo eto waidi akene na ata ifiok kanu tumu kpemwet aben men wondam usong na ipesanga ebiat adibo kewuden anio ukpono akana wuwan ke midnyen etubo fongwen tai fyo yo tai fyo yaudo ndayu kini ke koma basi abangari namado ama kom burowo ke na mo sinyima ewodi ko mukbembomi kedi tang bombanga andino kpebemi awot na ima yenye no nutu kpemwet akanam janye ke were nyen ku fongwet kini yimi keme ira sikbenan detongwet ndien anyama dok akasem akambaitie nte kpemwere nyedo kini ke no kpembo nyama tabo kiba wonde deket aniofon akan awonyem siadu awan mawuden edu kamukem ke frefen bo kema ke no gbedo ma anyama ben were nye no gbe me no tubo fongwet eno no nye mbo dt wisdom jacob kombok nta
ari de pendang fogobasi yide nyen ado me panneme mi po etubom u de pendang boti me ke tange ba ke ebogo edion okente fathers of faith seminar ya ikob mbo mi fon ito kombong nyen ema etum ebogo ari de pendang boti dem di tobasi eno ikpom me tubo madai wor ku fogobasi ket edion okente fathers of faith ebogo mi akedo adi kori word mbanga nanga edi de pen ndaga state ngen yeida ngen Nigeria mbemiso wo iswa 2030 ada kokiso odiane kambada iwod ebogo edion kente fathers of faith forum anyeke kwa ibom state ete azaya omana kikomo ama tang mo song nanga keme ndiben ndago tomabasi bante nanga akana da iwod ebogo ami ake kpara e kambe tubom ete sonde mbang akenam nko ema no mbono wo fang adini ntamsan kabanga iwori ko eke kamake tumebogomi medai wod eke tumebogomi ema ebo yak mo fogobasi esuke kaiso etat mbono wo nyen na ekemendi isanga kusong afonno mi ukangin tembongen atrido mbubyo yomi tutu kang efen asere so songo kem pangtong